What up, people? It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Chris One, the official place to get you anything and everything pertaining to the social media, YouTube street. How you living? I'm living swell. Feel free. Be sure to hit the subscription button, the notification bell. Share this with your friends, family, as well as your followers. Don Squad in the house. Step up. Salute. Big shout out to The Dream. Go check out The Dream's YouTube channel as well as Just Me Nicole's YouTube channel. They have fabulous YouTube channels as well as subscribe to their social media accounts. Okay, without further ado, let's get into today's topic. It seems like Sean Diddy Combs is going to have to step aside as chairman of Revolt TV on the midst of this SA lawsuit. Now, last week, Sean Diddy Combs settled with Cassidy. Now, no one knows how much he settled for. Cassidy wanted 30 M's. There are some people out there that think that he settled for 50. Some people think she settled for 9 figures, 8 figures. No one really knows what she settled for. But everyone knew as soon as he settled with Cassidy, the floodgates were going to be bust open with a lot of accusations about Diddy. A lot of stuff has been cropping up. The infamous interview with Aaron Hall, what he did over there at Vlad TV, telling a story about him performing some SA acts on a female. And Diddy, as well as Devontae Swing from Jodeci, was there or had the video and watched it. All of this stuff is starting to creep out and pop out, that what he done did back in the 90s. 50 Cent is just having his way with Diddy Combs. I mean, he has been making several posts, but we're going to talk about this story in particular. In the wake of 3 lawsuits alleging SA on Sean Diddy Combs, Combs had to temporarily step aside as chairman of Revolt, the music television network he co-founded in 2013. A representative for Combs confirmed the news to several magazines. Okay, you can go check this out at your leisure. A statement posted to Revolt on their Instagram page read in part, Sean Combs has stepped down from his position of chairman of Revolt, while Mr. Combs has previously had no operating or day-to-day roles in the business. This decision helps assure that Revolt remains steadfast, focusing on our mission to create meaningful content for the culture and amplifying voices of all Black people throughout this country and our, in our African nation. Okay. Earlier this month, the R&B singer Cassidy accused Combs of and beating her over a course over a decade. Cassidy, whose real name is, you guys know I butcher names on a consistent basis, okay? Previously re-encountered from Combs from Bad Boy Labels just one day after the suit was filed. They settled. Combs and Cassidy reached a settlement. I have decided to resolve this matter on their terms, having some level of control. I want to thank my family, fans, lawyers for their unwavering support, Cassidy said in a statement at that time. Combs added, we decided to resolve this matter to the best of our ability. Wish Cassidy and her family all the best. Okay. Combs maintains his innocence as his attorney, Ben Bradford, you guys know I butcher names on a consistent basis, said in a follow-up statement, just so we're clear, the decision to settle the lawsuit especially from 2023, is no way in an admission of wrongdoing. Mr. Combs decided to settle the lawsuit, does not have any undermining his flat-out claims. He is happy that it was mutually settled, and wished Cassidy the best. Okay, Combs was hit with another lawsuit last week filed under the New York Adult Survivor Act by Joel Dickinson Neal, who alleges that Combs drugged S.A. and abused her, and she was a victim of R. Corn. Okay, this cease and desist by the rapper suit also claims Combs and the company Bad Boy Entertainment and Combs Enterprise as the defendant. According to the complaint, Dickinson Neal and Combs met while she was a student at Syracuse University in 1991, and she agreed to attend a dinner with him after appearing in one of his music videos. Dickinson Neal alleges Combs intentionally drugged her, and during the dinner, S.A. was performed on her, recording it on a video and sharing the tape with others. Dickinson Neal is suing Combs for pain and suffering, and she also insists in the aggressive assault, including several severe. Oh, I'm sorry. She's experiencing depression and ordeals per the complaint. Neal is demanding a trial by jurors and compensation for her pain, anguish, and mental and emotional also injuries, and pain and suffering as far as injuring her reputation. Okay, a spokesperson for Combs told the magazine that they are all fabrication claims, falsely accusations, misconduct from over 30 years ago, and this was filed at the last minute. This is nothing but a money grab because Mr. Combs' fame and success, he is an easy target for other accusers. All right, without for the benefit of financial gain. The New York legislation surely did not intend nor expect the Adult Survivor Act to be exploited by scammers. The public should be skeptical and not rush to judgment. That's basically what he's saying. In addition, the lawsuit filed against Combs by Jane Doe alleges that the hip-hop mogul, the R&B singer Aaron Hall, we just talked about that, took turns, her and her friend Hall, and friends of Hall's apartment somewhere between 1990 and 91. We talked about that earlier. Combs blasted the lawsuit as a fabricational claim. Combs started Revolt TV in 2023. This is basically all about how Revolt was formed and this, that, the third. Let's get into today's topic and what do I think about it. Okay, first and foremost, when Sean Diddy Combs should have known when he settled with Cassidy, instead of taking it to court and just handling it through the trials, that there's going to be a floodgate of women are going to, first and foremost, we don't know if all of this stuff is true. I like to reserve judgment until you get all the facts, until you read all the receipts to determine whether or not someone's telling the truth or someone telling a bold-faced lie, okay? But everyone is entitled of their innocence. I'm not saying that these women are taking Diddy to court because they're trying to get a cash grab. But a lot of people are skeptical on these last two incidents. A lot of people feel like that, if they wanted justice, why they didn't come forward sooner. But I will add to this, when you're, as a woman, and when you go through SA or the R, it's a mental thing, and women react differently. Okay, so I think people need to pause and reserve their judgment until they hear all the facts and figure out whether, and then they come to their own conclusion whether or not if these women are lying or if these women are telling the truth. And the same thing goes for Diddy. For all we know, Diddy could be totally innocent from these two cases, and maybe this is a cash grab. But at the same time, Diddy could be, the accusations that they're saying that Diddy did, he actually did them. Okay, but this is all going to court. I don't think Diddy is going to settle. And I said this on Too Early for This podcast, as well as a video last week. It's a damn if you do, damn if you don't. Okay, particularly when we found out on the eve of Cassidy, was going to take Diddy to court, and you hear all the excerpts from the stories. And when I think, damn if you do, damn if you don't. If he would have took this to trial, people would say, well, Diddy obviously did something because he's taking this poor lady to court. And let's just say if he won, people would still will say, well, even though he beat this, I feel like he beat it because his fame, his success, he's rich, of course he was going to beat these outcomes, okay? And it would have had long-term effects on his reputation. Now, I feel like Diddy's reputation has already been tarnished, okay? Even before these accusations from these women, all right? I said that in multiple videos as well as the live stream. I don't think Diddy's reputation before all these claims came up is, that, great, particularly when it comes to business, particularly when it comes to as a person. There have been a lot of stories told about Diddy that, Diddy is not a good guy, okay? However, just because 1 and 1 makes 2, it doesn't really equals to 2 as far as is he a predator? Did he take advantage of these women? Or these women, allowed Diddy to take advantage of because they knew the bigger picture that Diddy could take care of them financially as well as, help them in their careers. All right. So I don't want to reserve judgment on either way, but it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't. If he didn't settle, people would say that he's hiding something. If he did settle, people are going to say he's hiding something. All right. So I think we should reserve judgment until we get something concrete that we can all look at and say, okay, that those receipts equal to, well, maybe he did do this or maybe he didn't do that. Okay. But without further ado, continuing on with this video, I feel like where there's smoke, there's fire. I have heard a lot of stories of, there was one guy on a podcast Sunday was talking about his mother used to work for Sean Diddy Combs. And there was a studio session. Now, this is all allegedly. Okay, let's use the allegedly. Okay, I can't confirm nor deny this story, but it's just a story. And he talked about in this podcast that I listened to Sunday that his mother was an assistant to Diddy, and Diddy was in a studio session, and Cassidy was in the studio, and he asked Cassidy to get some water. Cassidy walked over, grabbed a bottle of water, handed it to him, and he said and he said that Diddy said that this is not the water I drank, and he just splashed water all on Cassidy. Okay, I don't know if that story is true, but judging the other stories I have listened to, and I even saw making of the band when he formed the group, the band, he made the musicians go walk out on the streets and get cheesecake. Okay. And when I saw that in that clip, that described, they did multiple videos on making the band, the first season one, but that clip registered to me more than any other clip of that series, and it just and that small clip described a lot to me about Diddy. I think Diddy has a huge ego. I think Diddy thinks he's king. I think Diddy acts like his stuff don't stink, and I do believe Diddy would do stuff like that, like throw water on somebody or throw a bottle at somebody, or just to embarrass that person. Now, does this mean that Diddy is an S predator? One could assume, but I like to reserve that judgment until we get more evidence, some more concrete evidence, instead of these stories. And that's what we've been hearing, is a bunch of stories. But obviously there's something, these stories, even though they're not credible or believable, some people will believe them, some people won't. But obviously these stories together is making Diddy do a lot of things to protect what he has left. Now, of course, Diddy is still a billionaire. You can't take all his money away from him. But I think he's going to lose a lot of money with these accusations, financially, by going through court, by settling. He's going to lose a large a portion of these of his finances. I still think he's still going to be a billionaire. All right, at the end of the day, when the dust settles, he's still going to be a billionaire. But his image and his reputation is going to be crippled. It's going to be ruined. Okay, and people that are doing business with Diddy are going to say, well, how can we negotiate a sponsorship deal or do business with Diddy when you hear all of these stories, real or not real, of him doing all these foul acts on women? And a lot of corporate America is not going to do business long term or in the near future for Diddy because of these things. And Diddy's going to have to wait a while until he can get back on his bad boy image of a mogul image, and as far as signing as far as him doing deals with corporate America. I think corporate America has sort of shut that door. There's a little crack there that maybe when all this is settled and there's time and space between everything, maybe he can come back and start doing deals with corporate America. I don't know. But when it comes to DeLeon, that's his, I believe that's his I think he does a sponsorship deal, or he's an owner of some type of tequila. And they said a couple of days ago that, they're going to, they're still going to continue to do business with him, but he's no longer going to be placed in a lot of the ads. Okay. And a lot of people are saying that they're probably going through that contract with a fine-tooth comb to, pardon the pun, Sean Diddy Combs, a fine-tooth comb. Okay. Anyway, they're probably going through that contract to see if, they could terminate that contract. But I do think there's a caveat to that. I think he owns a certain percentage of that company, and it's going to be kind of hard for them to sever ties with them, or they might believe Diddy Combs and they're just going to say, let's just, just chill out a bit. We won't feature you in none of the ads. And when, like I said, time and space, and people forget about it and people move on to the next big thing, we'll start focusing back on our relationship, our business relationship, DeLeon. Now, in other news, Diddy's lawsuit against Ciroc, the makers of Ciroc, that lawsuit has been suspended, and that won't start pushing back until next year of 2020, of 24. And I don't know if it's going to be the early quarter of it, or the latter quarter of it. I believe it's going to be somewhere maybe in the spring and summer till they, until they Diddy had some differences with the makers of Ciroc. It would not surprise me none if over the summer, and you heard this here first, that Diddy would probably settle and reach a financial settlement with them, and that will be that. I do feel like Diddy has a lot of irons in the fire, and I just feel like as of right now, he needs to clean his image up. He needs to do a lot of things now. He now recently, before all these accusations, and I think this is why, if you start connecting the dots, I think this is why Diddy was on this, caring of we are the world, caring type of attitude. Because remember, a couple of months back, he gave he let all the singers and the people that he made money off done music with, he relinquished a lot of those publishing rights to those artists. Like the Notorious B.I.G.'s estate, they got his publishing back. The Locks, Mace, Faith Evans, Mark Curry, even though he said that his publishing is worthless. I mean, he really didn't do a lot of songs. He was only on one song. I can understand where he was coming from. He'd rather have the money than the publishing, but getting a few dollars from it is better than nothing. Okay, that's how I look at things. All right, so he was doing that, and then he gave $1 million to Jackson State. I think he gave another $1 million to another black college, and people was going like, "What's the change with Diddy? Is he really trying to embody the brother love thing? Trying to or maybe he feels guilty, righting his wrongs and things of that nature." Well, if you start connecting that stuff, I think Diddy and his legal team knew about this Cassidy thing, and he was, hey, look, life is a game of chess, not checkers. All right, and you can see Diddy trying to in the background make his repair his image before his image take a huge hit, because he was definitely going to take Cassidy to court. He was really going to go through the court thing. But but I felt like Cassidy's legal team left a lot of stuff off the table. And when that final negotiation came, as far as trying to reach a settlement, they came out with all the stuff that they was going to, most of the stuff that they was going to present to court, as well as the possibility of other things that they was not going to disclose to Diddy. I think, and then when news broke out that Cassidy was going to sue Diddy for SA, I mean, it was like putting grease in a fire. Okay, when he saw how he was getting huge backlash on social media, he quickly settled with Cassidy in less than 23 hours. Now, a lot of people think it's upwards to 100 million, 50 million. She got the 30 M's, 9 figures, 8 figures. I don't think she got 30 million. And she didn't settle for 8 because she said no way, no how she was going to settle for 8. But I do think like it's up there. All right, it's up there. Okay, if I had to take a guess, if you have to tie me down and say, Chris, you have to make a guess, I think it's from 5 to 10 million. Okay, and let's just say hypothetically he settles for 30 million. 30 million is not a lot of money for Diddy. Okay, you could go check Diddy's financial records. That's not a lot of money. 30 million is not a lot of money. I just think Diddy was not going to settle 30 million for Cassidy for the principle of it, because Diddy feels like, in his mind, he feels like he did not do nothing wrong. But I think Diddy, in the course of his relationship with Cassidy, I think if you in a one-on-one type of setting, I think Diddy would say, I probably did a lot of things in that relationship that made Cassidy feel a certain type of way. I clearly make some mistakes. And a lot of guys are defensive like this. They say, well, I know I made mistakes, but she made mistakes too. But let's just focus on your mistakes, all right? And I think he would admit to that, but still he would say, even though I made a lot of mistakes with Cassidy, it doesn't equate to her suing me for $30 million because I took care of her from start to finish. All right. She didn't have to work a dime. All right. I paid for everything. I even helped her career. Now, low key, I thought Cassidy was going to blow up. I thought she was going to be the next Aaliyah. When I saw that Me and You song, and then when I saw the video, I thought Cassidy was going to blow up in the game, and she sort of came off as a one-hit wonder. And I think the real reason why she was a one-hit wonder because Diddy did not want to have Cassidy out there. He wanted to really make Cassidy a trophy wife, and that was on, with Kim Porter passing. I just think Sean Diddy Combs wasn't in the right mind as far as molding her into a superstar. He was more concerned of having a girlfriend, a paid girlfriend. Okay, and she went along with it because of she didn't have to ever work again. She can get whatever she wants, but she had to go through some things. And in the beginning of the relationship, it was fine and dandy, and I feel like he's very controlling and very calculated. And I feel like when it got later on into the relationship, it just got worse. All right. And Diddy and Cassie said, okay, it's enough. She fell out of love with Diddy. I don't think she was never in love with Diddy, but she was trying to learn how to love Diddy. And Diddy and his ego and his attitude probably got the best of him, thinking that he's the Lord mighty, he's God to all of us, and this, that, and the third. And like I said, when Diddy was when he was younger, I saw elements of this in that making of the band thing, because he wanted to embarrass them, break those guys down to where they didn't want to, where they would not be able to stand up to him. I think there's a lot of mental trauma with the band members. Now, I don't think the band, Danity Kane, any of those acts could take him to court because they signed an NDA. And part of that NDA is they cannot publicly talk about Diddy, and they can't take him to court. Okay, now it does not cover as far as criminal acts, but a lot of these people that went through that stuff, this has been like 30, 40 years ago. All right. So people are going to assume like, okay, now you want to take them to court. And that's where the skepticism is with a lot of people. They feel like this stuff is not real. Okay. This is mainly a cash grab. The big Diddy fans, the hardcore Diddy fans are going to say this is nothing but a cash grab. They're just trying to take money from this man. This man didn't do nothing wrong, this, that, and the third. I do feel like he did a lot of stuff that possibly someone could take him to court about. All right, I will go that far. But yeah, until we get some receipts, some hardcore evidence, no one really knows. All right, no one really knows. Well, that's all I got for today. I got to hurry up, process this video. This video takes a long time to edit. The longer it is, the harder it is to process. But guys, always remember, rate, comment, subscribe, share this live stream with your friends, family, as well as your followers. It's your boy, the host with the most. I do not brag or boast. I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. I really do appreciate everyone subscribing to me for the past 30 days. I got like over 20 subscribers. I really do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to all the new subscribers, to all my old subscribers, to the day ones, whatever it is. Don Squad in the house, stand up, salute. It's your boy. I'm out.